friends, Constance here from Cosmopolitan Cornbread. So I am getting dinner going real quick in my slow cooker. So tonight we'll be doing a nice dinner outside under the Sukkot, which I will be going out to put together here in just a moment, but I need to get dinner going. I've got a nice beef roast here in my slow cooker, and I'm just kind of throwing this together. You know, roast beef in a slow cooker is so easy, and it's not really something you even hardly need a recipe for. You know, you just put in the roast, put in some liquid, usually beef broth or some red wine, add in some salt and pepper, and just, you know, whatever spices you want. I never really measure anything. I just kind of throw it all in there and just let it cook all day. It's super easy. So I'm adding in some onion. Oh, and of course some garlic. You know, gotta have some garlic. I'm a big fan of garlic. So I'm gonna throw in, I'm just kind of rough chopping some onion here. Doesn't have to be too fancy. And my onions, this bag of onions was kind of on the puny side, so I'm just going to go ahead and add 2 of them. Got some minced garlic here. I'm just going to kind of squirt in a little bit. Probably about 4 cloves right there. And I'm going to use this wine here. Now this is actually a wine from Israel. I have one of those subscriptions where you get like a goodie box every month, and this is an Israeli one, and this is one of the things that actually came in my goodie box. It's some dry red wine, and I do enjoy having a glass of wine now and again, but I do not care for dry wine. To me it just tastes like vinegar, and so I've been saving this basically just to cook with, because cooking with dry wine is a great option. Anytime someone gifts me wine and it's just not the kind that I would drink, I just save it and I cook with it. Now this is a little bottle. It's not one of those little single serve ones. This is probably like 2 glasses of wine. So I'm just going to pour half of it in here, and then I'll save the other half for another recipe. I'll just stick the cork back in there and stick it back into the fridge. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and turn on my slow cooker onto high so it can start heating up. And I'm going to add in a couple bay leaves. Yes. And actually, as I'm looking at this, I think I need some more liquid. So I am just going to go ahead and add in the rest of that bottle of wine, because this is a pretty big roast and a little bit of thyme. A little bit of basil. Some parsley, and a few grinds of pepper, and a little bit of salt. And that is it. So I'm going to throw on the cover. I'm going to let this stay on high for about 20 minutes or so, just to kind of get this good and hot, and then I'll turn it down to low and just let it go all day long. Friends, I'm happy to be partnering with Sanctified Supply Company. They are the people who make all of those great Biblical Feast t-shirts that you often see me wearing, and several more of the shirts that I have. You can find the link to their website in the video description down below and check out all of the things that they make. And when you shop there, you can save 10% if you use my discount code Cornbread. Go check them out. All right, so I've got my canopy that is basically going to be my sukkah this year. I had wanted to do one like I did a few years ago in Alabama, using a cattle panel, and I actually have the bamboo, you know, and everything to do one like that. But it's been a busy month. It's been a really busy month, which is why I've actually had weeks where I've only done, you know, I think one week I only even did one video. And so this is just kind of like the easy shortcut, but I can take this canopy and make it beautiful. I used this last year and I'm basically going to do the same thing that I did last year. I have a whole bunch of just cheap flat sheets, and I'm going to make this into like an enclosure. So we'll close this up on 3 sides with the sheets. So that's going to be the first thing I'm going to do. And then after that, we will do the decorating part. So one more sip of coffee, and then we'll get to it.
Like
Hello friends, so we are now in the midst of celebrating Sukkot, and you saw me the other day setting up my canopy and doing the decorating and all of that. Pretty simple, but it's very homey and very fall festival-ish. This is very much like what I did last year. I used the same canopy. I did the sheets with the like a fringe, and I used that to attach it to the canopy. It's very festive looking, very fall, very celebratory, and you know, this year I used different types of plants. I got those pampas fronds and all of that. Gives it a really Mediterranean kind of feel and everything. And I love it. You know, the weather has been unseasonably warm during the day and quite chilly at night. And you can probably hear there's some dogs carrying on. They're down there in the valley, but the sound carries like crazy. There was just a pack of coyotes having a party over here, and so the dogs are all wound up around here. But I did want to mention, those of you who are new here, I know that my friend Heather was sending a few people over this way to learn about Sukkot. On my website, cosmopolitancornbread.com, I have an article that I published that is an introduction to the biblical feast of Sukkot, also known as tabernacles or booths. And it is reminiscent of the time that the people of Israel lived in booths or tents and traveled around the wilderness for 40 years. You know, it started off as it was supposed to be a short period of time, but because of rebellion and all of that, it ended up being 40 years. But during that time, even though they lived in these temporary, movable, simple shelters, God took care of their every need. They had food, their clothing didn't wear out, their shoes didn't wear out, and He provided for their needs. And so having this time of dwelling in booths or dwelling in a sukkah, or Sukkot is the plural, you know, it is very festive, and it's fun to be outside and have the campfires and the centerpieces and the decorations and all of that. But it is also a reminder of how good we have it in our real houses, and it reminds us to appreciate the blessings that the Father gives us. But the article on my website goes into what the Feast of Sukkot is, and it also expresses some of the biblical prophetic meaning that is relevant to Christians. You know, these feasts, a lot of people see them as a Jewish thing, but they're God's appointed times. They are special times that He has set apart, that He wants us to spend with Him. And they are incredibly rich with meaning. So if you would like to learn more, you can read the introductory article on my website. I'll put a link to that in the video description down below. And then I do have some books that I highly recommend. They are phenomenal resources for learning more. One in particular really dives into the prophetic symbolism of each and every one of the feasts of the Bible. And I also have an article where I talk about the Hebrew wedding tradition. And when you start learning about the feast of the Bible, and then you start learning about the culture and you learn about the wedding, you realize that this is the wedding supper of the bride and the groom. And that speaks volumes as far as prophetic symbolism goes. There is a reason that this is the last and final feast of the year. So my dinner tonight was my beef and cabbage dish that it's such an easy meal, but I absolutely love it. I have a video where I share this recipe, and as of yet, I've still not put it on my website, but I will put a link in the video description if you're interested in that. I will also include the links for the article about Sukkot, the links to the books that I really find to be a great resource, as well as my video about the Hebrew wedding traditions. And one thing that you may be interested to learn is that many people think that this is actually when this happened, because that structure there kind of looks a little bit like a sukkah. And biblically speaking, he was born in the fall, not the winter. So I do include a little nativity with my sukkah decorations. But that is it for today, friends. Thank you for spending some time with me here at the Mountain Homestead. My name is Constance from Cosmopolitan Cornbread, and I'll talk to y'all next time.